Breaking news. Canada has officially become the 51st state of the United States. But what does this mean for both countries? Will Canada remain the land of politeness and maple syrup? Or will it transform into America 2.0, where Walmart replaces Tim Hortons and every car is suddenly a Ford F-150? Let's find out. The first change? Say goodbye to universal healthcare. As a new US state, Canadians now have to navigate the American healthcare system, which means expensive bills, insurance headaches, and a newfound fear of ambulance rides. Meanwhile, prescription drug prices skyrocket overnight, and Canadians suddenly understand why Americans rely so much on GoFundMe for medical expenses. But that's not all. The metric system, completely abolished. From now on, temperatures are measured in Fahrenheit, distances in miles, and no one knows how to convert anything. Confusion spreads as Canadians try to figure out what 72 degrees means and why it suddenly costs $300 to go to the hospital for frostbite. As Canada settles into its new identity, American culture takes over rapidly. Tim Hortons, rebranded as Dunkin' Donuts, the iconic beaver on the nickel, replaced by George Washington. Even hockey, the sacred sport of the North, now competes for airtime with American football. And perhaps most shocking of all, poutine is quietly renamed Freedom Fries with Gravy in certain states. With new American-style laws in place, Canadians also experience a cultural shift. Firearms, once strictly regulated, become widely available. Cities like Toronto and Vancouver, once known for their low crime rates, suddenly resemble Texas, except with snow. But not all Canadians are willing to accept their new reality. A resistance movement quickly forms, known as Operation Maple Mayhem. Their first move: cutting off America's access to Canadian oil. Within days, gas prices in the US hit record highs, and Americans are forced to pay $15 per gallon. Then comes their most brutal attack, weaponizing the weather. Canada unleashes an Arctic blast so powerful that Florida experiences its first minus 30 degrees Celsius winter. Texans, unprepared for extreme cold, desperately search Google for how to survive a Canadian winter, while Floridians see snow for the first time and assume it's the apocalypse. As the final stage of their plan, Canadians take control of American television broadcasts, replacing Super Bowl ads with non-stop Wayne Gretzky highlights and documentaries about the history of maple syrup. Millions of NFL fans are horrified. After just 1 week of trying to Americanize Canada, the US realizes this was a mistake. The freezing temperatures, the oil crisis, and the cultural backlash proved too much to handle. In a desperate press conference, the US president announces that Canada is officially unannexed and will return to being an independent country. With a sigh of relief, Canadians reclaim their identity. The metric system returns, healthcare is free once again, and Tim Hortons reopens its doors. But some things have changed permanently, such as the fact that now, for some strange reason, Big Macs are available at every Tim Hortons, and nobody seems to be complaining. So, could Canada really become the 51st state? Legally, it's highly unlikely. Culturally, it would be a disaster. And logistically, let's just say Texas would probably secede before Canada would join. At the end of the day, Canada and the US are great neighbors, but maybe it's best if they keep their own unique identities. After all, some things just aren't meant to be like Fahrenheit in the Great White North. What do you think? Could Canada survive as part of the US? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Otherwise, we might just turn the UK into the 52nd state next.